Bleach probably had the best return we've seen in the entirety of the anime universe. From being forgotten to claiming that #1 spot right away, you can't help but deem it as the current Shonen Jump king. Sorry One Piece fans, Ichigo is just a little too good right now. And as if the hype wasn't enough, the new arc has been introducing new characters at the speed of light itself. From Quincy's to Sternritters to the legendary Iwak, manga readers have started to experience heaven on earth during this holiday season. But despite all that, there's one thing that stood out the most. Looking back at the anime episodes from the last decade or so, we heard of this Squad Zero, total monsters that weren't talked about all that much. But guess what? The 1,000-year blood war held back no punches and let the big dogs come out to play. With the 5-monster squad Zero Shinigami and the Soul King having broken the internet not that long ago, let's have a look at what they're all about. So with that being said, let's dive right in. 5. Ichibe Hyosube. What better way to start things off than making the leader himself walk down the red carpet? Having a striking resemblance to someone we hated in the past, Tite sure made the Phoenix resurrect the wrong Ash. Called the monk who calls the real name, you know the guy isn't the boss for nothing. Sure, the Squad Zero's entrance moments after Genryusai Yamamoto's death had us confused when it came to the emotional department. But after him revealing the sign of the true Okin and claiming to restore Ichigo's Zanpakuto to something similar to the original one, fans wanted to know all there was to this bald head. I mean, the character had a unique release once in the past named Shinuchi, something that wasn't accomplished by the most fearsome of Shinigami that the Soul Society boasts of. Plus, that's not all. With the ability to reincarnate himself and having the OP power to make things lose their meaning by altering their titles, this character is sure a lot to handle if I'm being honest right here. The anime has a lot to show about this bald head we got right here, so let's just sit back, relax, and let the anime do its thing. 4. Tenjiro Kirinji. Tite sure comes up with the most diverse characters that the entirety of the Shonen Jump magazine has seen. It isn't our first time seeing Shinigami inspired by the Yakuza themselves, but we sure haven't seen someone from the shadows, the Royal Guard, having that look on their face. Titled the Hot Spring Demon even though he looks like someone shouting, "I'm constipated, send help ASAP," Tenjiro can be deceiving when it comes to the looks department. But coming up with a new and unique way to make the hot springs heal someone in the spirit world, it seems like the spirits have been snitching a lot about our hot springs and spas in the real world. The guy is also a previous sensei to our very own kind Captain Unohana, and is also someone who thinks of the Gotei 13 as nothing but a bunch of kids playing a game of pet and owner. But one thing's for sure, nothing about the guy says healing in any way there is. Confronting Unohana the moment he lands there in the Soul Society, to downright mocking the system, the guy's got an attitude. But after that face-off with Iwak, he's kind enough to heal Ichigo and Renji using his hot springs, even adding a punch to Ichigo's face soon after, making it a combo meal that he won't be able to forget for a lifetime. 3. Kiryu Hikifune. I don't even remember the last time that someone from Bleach was trending on Twitter, being the center of attention of all the memes and gifs floating around. Well, in case you think that the character would look a lot better if she hit the gym, then fret not for Kiryu, who would be taking that advice to heart soon enough. There, see that 180? It's like she's a totally different character. Called the Ruler of Grain, Kiryu Hikifune is a vital part of the Squad Zero that serves the Royal Guard. Trust me, her Reiatsu-fueled food is gonna make you forget the OG Food Wars for a moment, even when Bleach has nothing to do with cooking at all. Using her body as ingredients for the food, losing that weight to come out as a violet bombshell, Tite sure has given us an oddball with a beauty in disguise. But keeping up with that rule, all that fat must come back, and in between the meals, we've got the perfect meatball anyone would love to have on their manga shelves. I mean, the character is kind enough to give Ichigo that rice ball while he's on her way to the Sarate, in addition to her lecturing the boys on the importance of food. But what stood out the most when it comes to this character was her power in addition to the cooking skills. I'm pretty sure a lot of you aren't caught up with the manga, and with the anime taking a break, it's best for me not to ruin anything for you guys. But trust me, this purple-haired girl is one to look out for without a doubt. 2. Oetsu Nimaya. It isn't unusual for Tite Kubo to come up with characters who look as troll as it gets, while having so much to their name that it's downright scary. Oetsu is another one of that lot, looking like someone who arrived at a funeral to party because he had a little too much Mexican food. Fun fact, there's also the man coming up with the template, the prototype that would become the bread and butter of every Shinigami out there. Yes, you guessed it right, he came up with the Asauchi, something that would become the Zanpakuto soon after. The anime revealed him with the rest of the lot during their entry after Yamamoto's demise, but the anime hasn't really captured what this character is all about, having two faces to him with glasses serving as the perfect switch. God, I miss Aizen right now, keeping up his upbeat demeanor while slashing his foes without a second thought. None of us could imagine one of the Royal Guards to be this cool if I'm being honest here. Plus, it isn't like he's all bark and no bite, with his skill with the sword being second to none. Hold tight, for he's about to show you some of the finest swordplay in the entirety of Bleach, as he takes down some of the most formidable foes that the universe has come up with. The god of the sword isn't something that should be taken lightly of either, and the guy does a pretty good job of showing you who's the boss around here. 1. Shinigami Shutara. I think a fight between the deflated Hikafune and Shinigami Shutara is something that we want to happen ASAP. Giving us not one but two waifu characters at the same time, Tite has made the Weeb army go on a civil war. But being cute isn't all there is to this character. Having the Great Weeb Guard as their title, you know you're gonna witness a fighting style that's as unique as it gets, even when it comes to Bleach. Well, if you thought that she's gonna make a whole new Zanpakuto form come to life, then I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. Since the needles, the weaving is about to sew that mouth shut and quiet. We got to see a bit of what this character was all about, right after the Royal Guard made that not-so-royal entrance in the anime. Shinigami Shutara just immediately gets to work, making sure everyone's out of harm's way, all the while holding the injured Shinigami as if they were her own children. Tell me if it didn't look like that, and also tell me that you weren't jealous in the slightest. Plus, the girl's got a lot of guard to her name, and with her palace being as colorful as Bleach would ever get, you've got to make the guys at Studio Pierrot work their asses off to see more of this character. Sharp, intelligent, and having that killer personality, she's one to look out for when you're thinking about the Squad Zero. And one look at the character is enough to make you fall in love. Her artificial limbs remind me of the legendary Hunter Netero from Hunter x Hunter, right when he unleashed that special move. Also, don't count that sewing needle out by any means, since with those arms moving at lightning-fast speeds in directions that would dislocate the normal one a million times already, that needle seems to do the job the most perfect way there is. Having all those guards puts her at such an advantage as well, since that way it's like having an army of your own ready to slice through anything and everything that moves. The character is just creativity at its best, all the while reminding us of the million faces that it incorporates, while bringing forward one name, Shinigami Shutara. Soul King. You know we saved the best for last, and with the Soul King himself being the main course today, it's safe to say that no one's going to sleep with an empty stomach. We've got a lot of spiritual energy on our hands. Though jokes aside, how insane was this reveal about the Soul King, right? I literally had goosebumps the entire time, even when I had read the manga and knew what was coming from a mile away. Even we aren't the only ones not having seen the guy even once. The Shinigami have little to no information as to what this heavenly deity is all about. Regarded as the king of the Soul Society, maintaining the balance of souls between every universe, every realm that exists, the Soul King sure sounds like the father of Iwak, that's for sure. Right after Ichibei meets with this godly figure and inquires about its awakening, Iwak is there to pay his father a visit. You know, have some father-son time to themselves. How sweet, right? We'll save that for later, since he's also the one slashing him through the chest, making him reconsider giving birth to him, even though he probably didn't from what I can assume. Or a whole lot went in there that I just don't want to imagine. Plus, this game about slashing the Soul King over and over again just doesn't stop there, since as Ichigo approaches the heavenly deity, the Quincy blood comes to play, and makes the Shinigami slash the Soul King, making him hit the ground. Imagine being the very one governing, the sole sovereign that sits at the top of the food chain and then getting this treatment. We also get to know that the Soul King didn't always used to be this whole thing. Long ago, the different parts or vassals were all over the place, two of them having close connections to Shinigami of the Gotei 13. This comes quite handy later on, since that in fact works wonders in the bout against Iwak that happens soon after. A little kindness goes a long way after all. The anime would bring that out for all the fans out there. I mean, revealing it in a way like that, making the fans die because of the hype and excitement was kinda low, Pierrot. But it's finally the 12th and we got the new episode that we've been waiting for all this while. So what is there to even complain about, right? The verdict. To be honest, I feel like people have a lot of mixed reviews and opinions when it comes to this long-awaited Squad Zero reveal. We've had people going crazy about the Royal Guard finally getting their time on the screens, with others just downright kicking them for being a little too weak, or not what they'd been expecting. To be fair, I really like them personally, even back then when I was reading the manga, since they just brought so much to the table, in addition to being crazy strong, a perk that we don't take lightly when it comes to the Shonen Jump magazine. There's a lot more to come about the Squad Zero and Soul King, and the anime sure is ready to cover it all with new episodes coming out starting this week. I'm pretty sure you've already watched the new episode, but let's just pretend like we're diving into the recent episode altogether. Let's see how the anime executes this setting, all the while bringing the best out of these characters, cause no Bleach fan can say no to that now, can they? That pretty much wraps up the analysis. Do leave a like, share, and subscribe if you're new, since we publish new content related to anime quite often. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want to miss out on any of that. Plus, in case you got a cool new video idea that you'd like to be done, do let us know in the comments, since something that we can't say no to are cool video ideas. Till next time, goodbye and take care.